If you're waking up at 2 a.m. stumbling to the bathroom, you've probably blamed your bladder, maybe your prostate, maybe just getting older. None of those are the real problem. And what nobody's telling you is that the nightly bathroom trip is actually the least dangerous part of this equation. It's what it's doing to your sleep that should worry you. Every time you break a sleep cycle to urinate, your body pays a tax. Your cortisol spikes. Your metabolism slows. Your risk for type 2 diabetes goes up because of something called insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly to blood sugar signals. Your blood pressure climbs. Your arteries stiffen. You store more visceral fat, that deep belly fat wrapped around your organs, because elevated cortisol tells your body to hold on to it. You stay in a constant hunger mode the next day, reaching for snacks you don't actually need. There's one most people never connect. Your brain detoxifies itself during deep sleep. Break that process, and you wake up foggy. Cloudy thinking, poor memory, weak focus. Your mood tanks, anxiety shows up, and testosterone drops. You're exhausted all day because you never actually rested. Now this is where it gets interesting. There are populations around the world where people routinely live into their 80s and 90s, sleeping straight through the night, no bathroom trips. Meanwhile, in countries like the US, 1 in 5 men and 1 in 4 women get up at least once or twice every single night to urinate. So aging isn't the cause. Something else is going on. There's a hormone most people have never heard of. It's called antidiuretic hormone. Break that name apart. Anti-diuretic. It literally means anti-excessive urination. This hormone's entire job is to prevent your body from producing too much urine, especially while you sleep. It regulates water balance. And when something disrupts this hormone, your kidneys start dumping fluid at the worst possible time. So what disrupts it? First, a salt and potassium imbalance. This is extremely common. When you have too much sodium and not enough potassium, your kidneys try to flush the excess salt out. That means more urine production, more trips to the bathroom. Potassium-rich foods like avocados and large leafy green salads can help correct this ratio. Second, blood sugar. If you're diabetic or even pre-diabetic, you already know this one. When there's too much glucose in your blood, the body tries to eliminate it through the kidneys. And as that sugar passes through, it pulls water along with it. More sugar, more urine. There's a clue that connects both. If you press into your lower leg, your ankle, or the top of your foot, and it leaves a visible dent, you have fluid retention. That fluid sits in your legs while you're standing all day. But the moment you lie down flat in bed, gravity shifts. That retained fluid gets reabsorbed into the bloodstream, and now it has to go somewhere. Straight to the kidneys, straight to the bladder, and you're up again. Now, 2 nutrients that almost nobody talks about in this context: vitamin B1 and magnesium. B1 directly supports the part of the nervous system that controls bladder function. But B1 can't do its job without magnesium as a cofactor. These two together are especially important if you're getting up at night and barely any urine comes out. That's a neurological signal, not a fluid volume issue. If you're experiencing that, think B1 and magnesium immediately. Caffeine is another disruptor. Coffee, tea, even chocolate contain stimulants that act as diuretics. A small amount of caffeine in the morning is fine, but people who drink coffee throughout the entire day are flushing fluid out of their system on repeat, then wondering why they can't make it through the night. Sugar and starch deserve their own category here. They drive insulin resistance, which raises blood glucose, which forces the kidneys to work overtime eliminating the excess. And as the sugar leaves, it drags water with it. Eating starchy or sugary foods in the evening is practically guaranteeing multiple bathroom trips. Excess protein is one people never suspect. When you eat more protein than your body needs, one of the byproducts is urea. Your kidneys eliminate urea by producing more urine. So if you're eating a massive protein dinner and then waking up at 3 a.m., that connection isn't a coincidence. The fix is simple. Eat your larger protein meals earlier in the day. Lunch is ideal. Keep dinner lighter on the protein side. But the single biggest trigger for disrupting antidiuretic hormone? Alcohol. Nothing shuts this hormone down faster than a drink before bed. If you consume alcohol in the evening, you are almost guaranteed to be up urinating. It's one of the most reliable cause and effect relationships in all of this. Then there's the timing of fluids in general. Drinking anything within 3 hours of going to sleep is a bad idea. A lot of people aren't thirsty in the morning, but get increasingly thirsty in the evening. That's not dehydration. It's a survival mechanism. Your body knows you won't be drinking for the next 8 to 12 hours, so it triggers thirst to front-load fluid. But acting on that thirst late at night fills your bladder right before you're trying to sleep. And worse than the fluid itself is what often comes with it. Late-night snacking on salty or starchy foods makes you thirstier, which makes you drink more, which creates a cycle. Salt, sugar, starch. All of it depletes potassium even further and drives insulin resistance harder. Snacking at night might be the single most destructive habit for nighttime urination. To put this in perspective, your kidneys filter roughly 170 liters of fluid every single day, but they only excrete about 1.5 to 2 liters as actual urine. The system is incredibly precise when it's working correctly. Your plumbing works fine, the signals are what's broken, so here's how to fix this. Cut alcohol at night. That alone will make a noticeable difference within days. No fluids 3 hours before bed. Front-load your water intake earlier in the day. Get the bulk of it in before dinner. Stop eating salty foods in the evening. And absolutely no snacking after dinner. Out of everything on this list, nighttime snacking is the worst offender because it hits insulin resistance, potassium depletion, and thirst all at the same time. Increase potassium-rich foods, avocados, leafy greens, or a quality potassium electrolyte taken earlier in the day, not at night. Reduce caffeine intake. If you're drinking coffee past noon, that's worth cutting back. The diuretic effect compounds throughout the day. Keep carbs and sugar low, especially in the evening. Water follows sugar. If glucose is elevated, fluid follows it right out through the kidneys. Move your largest protein meal to earlier in the day. Smaller portions at dinner. Less urea production overnight. And if your situation is the neurological type, where you feel an urgent need to urinate, but very little actually comes out, add B1 at about 4 times the standard recommended amount on the label. You need a therapeutic dose, not a maintenance dose. Pair it with magnesium glycinate and additional potassium. Apply these changes consistently, and you will sleep through the night. The physiology is straightforward. Stop treating this as a bladder problem. It's a hormone problem, a mineral problem, a blood sugar problem. Fix those, and the bathroom trips stop on their own.